This video is about stat padding. I'm going to show you how you cannot trust these statistics. They're fake. This guy has a 60% win rate. Basically, what I did was I went to a page where it showed top ranked players. He was a top ranked player, like number 5 for one of the tanks, like a Progetto. I don't remember what it was. He's got a 60% victory, but look at how many games he played until he got to tier 8. He skipped over all of these tanks, and he literally skipped over these tanks. He plays almost every tech tree, including Poland, yet he skipped over tons of tanks. And we're going to look at tier 4. It says 20 games. So we're going to go down here and we're going to find that single tier 4 tank that he played 20 games in, which is right here. It's the Jagdpanzer 20 games, tier 4. He played his tier 4 20 games in one tank. However, from that, he was able to get all of this. All of these upper tiers came through playing one tier 4 tank. The reason why is because he bought premium tanks. He played them to get combat experience. He earned perhaps millions of EXP in combat experience. He paid cash, which could have been hundreds of dollars, if not more. It might be over $1,000. Converted it to free EXP through large numbers of these tanks in order to get here. That's how these people are getting these amazing stats. And it's probably, it says 23,000 battles. It's probably not true. He probably played thousands of battles, asked for his account to be wiped, which you're allowed to do. It resets all of your stats. You start over again. You keep your premium tanks and your gold, and then you free EXP through everything, and then you play as a tier 8 player. And these people are bragging that they're better players. Look at this. One game. I don't think 220 is enough to level up to tier 2. I don't think you can do it. People are stat padding like crazy. Here's an example of an account that I found. This was the number 1 player, perhaps for a tank like the Progetto. I don't remember which tank it was. And notice how he went through all these lower tiers, hardly with playing any games, yet on all the tech trees, he has large number of games. How did he get 266 battles in Czechoslovakia out of this? He did it because he free EXP'd his way to the top. What he did was he bought premium tanks, or he already owned premium tanks. This guy has clan. I'm pretty sure that this T95 E6 is something you get for referring someone and they have to make it to tier 10 and you platoon together, some sort of reward for something like that. This is a clan battle reward for being a top player. But basically what this player did was he somehow reset or re-rolled his account. This is not accurate. This is not from day one. He probably could have had many battles. Could have been another 25,000 for all we know. Look at when this was created, 2012. I started in 2013. I've got 38,000 battles. Who knows how many battles are missing out of here? Here we have a player who has 62% victories, but when you look at his tiers, he played 3 games in tier 2. How did he get up to tier 6, tier 7, or even tier 8? He did it because he had higher tier tanks, apparently tier 10, perhaps clan reward vehicles. This is, I believe, the tank you get through the invite. This has got to be some sort of a reward tank. This has got to be some sort of reward tank. And played large numbers of games in tier 10 or in premium tanks, took all that combat XP, spent hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars, and used that money to buy all the EXP to go through all of these tanks so he could jump to tier 6, 7, or 8. This is not since his first battle. This is an account that was reset or re-rolled. It's not from his first game. This is not accurate. These stats are not accurate. Here's another example where we have suspicious activity. This guy has 0 tier 1 battles, 3 tier 4 battles, yet he's gone up all these tech trees and he's got a 66% win rate, 19,000 battles. This is not correct. This is not accurate. He reset his account. And again, this is one of the top players in the game. What I did was I basically went and I said, here's a list of top 10 players. I randomly selected them, and at least half of them had stats like this. These people go around saying that they're amazing players and they're better than everybody else, and they're always coming up to me saying that they're better than me because they have a higher win rate, but they're just stat padding. Excuse me. This right here is best players by average experience earned per battle. So this guy's number one. He's got the highest experience earned per battle for these tiers, that many battles since December 2014. Let's look at his stats to see how he pulled this off, this amazing experience. Look at that. He skipped over the first 4 tiers and he pretty much jumped to tier 8. That's what this person did. He hasn't had that many games, yet he's the number one player by experience. He's only had 1,200 battles. This is another example of a person who paid money in order to skip a lot of tanks, not play them, and start out as a higher tier player. And he could have done this. He could have done this 10 times for all we know. This might literally be the 10th time he's re-rolled his account in order to improve his stats. One thing you might be surprised to hear is that if you go to the World of Tanks stats page, this is the home page that I ended up on, and you look at any of these stats, any of these players, they say best players, this is best by experience, World of Tanks rating, victories. You can look at any of these guys, any of these top players, however you decide to randomly choose one of these guys, and you're going to find they have really suspicious activity in their account. So let's look at this guy right here, average damage assisted per battle. I haven't looked yet. I'm just going to randomly pick. Let's go to page 4. And we are going to pick this guy right here. He's number 65. Looks like he's got good numbers, 60% victory, 35. Okay, so maybe he's not going to have a re-roll. These numbers look like he probably, I don't know. I think you could pull off something like this. This looks like a more of a normal account. So let's try some of these others. I'm going to pull up a couple of them. We're going to take this guy, this guy, this guy. 61%. Look at that. Look at how many tiers he skipped. All of these tiers. He skipped all of these tiers, and he's a top player with 1,866. Did you have a 61% win rate when you had that with 2,633 as your top experience? I mean, come on. Here's another guy. Look at that. 60% win rate. Another one with low number of battles. And look at that. He skipped all these tiers. And I just randomly, okay, this guy's got a high number of battles. This is going to be a little bit different. And you notice that his win rate is not as high as this one, which is 60, or this one, which is 62. He's got a lower win rate, higher number of battles. He started before I did. I have almost double the number of battles that he does. This is a lot of battles. That's a lot of battles. I don't know if 378 is enough for this tier to make it through tier 3. I really don't know. But you know what? When you go through all these accounts, you find the same thing. You find really suspicious activity. But this guy's account, like I said, is a little bit more normal compared to some of the others. I don't know if he was included. So we're going to go to another page. Let's go to page 2. I'm going to close these guys off. We're going to randomly pick some players. We're going to pick this guy, and this guy. I'm going to look at their pages. This is, since 2016, this might be a lot of battles. He's got a high victory rate. But again, look at that. Look at all the tiers he skipped. He went directly to tier 8. You got to pay to do that. This guy, you know what? You cannot do all of these tech trees with 17 battles in tier 1. It's not possible. He had to free EXP. Look at that, 12,000 battles in tier 10. I don't know how these people do it, but this is not normal behavior for somebody's account. Something happened with this guy that's different than the progression of a normal player. This guy had, I don't know if you could pull it off with 124 or 171. Maybe you can. But look at this. Why does he have so many tier 7 battles? I don't know. I don't know. But again, look at that. He's got one tank that he's played thousands of times. Why didn't he level up to tier 8? This is a regular tank. Why isn't he leveling these up? He's just playing them and playing them and playing them and playing them. A normal person would level this up to the next tier. And you know, this one's, look at this, MT25. He's had 1640 and he never, well, okay, so this could have been before the marks existed. Let's see when he started. 2011. Do you really believe he's had 14,000 battles since 2011? I don't know if I believe that. These tech trees did not exist back then. This is just a weird account. Let's pick another page. Pick page 7. I'm going to close these. We'll take this guy, and this guy. Okay, since 2013, he doesn't have that many battles since 2013. And look at that, he skipped a lot of tiers. This guy's got, since 2011, he's got a decent number of battles. Look at his victory rate, how it's kind of normal. This is pretty normal. He probably hasn't been playing recently. This has got to be like 2 years ago that this came out. These are all the newer ones in the last 2 years. So he might not have played in a while. But he's got more of a normal. He's got very few tier 8s. Why does he play so few in tier 8? Why does he have so many battles in 5, 6, and 7? We don't know why. He is an older player. It could have been because back then there were differences in the way the tiers were structured. I don't know. But look at his victory rate. It's more normal. I bet you this guy's still a good player. So now we got a guy with a 70% victory rate, played longer than I have, almost somewhat near half the number of battles. He's got more of a normal progression. I don't know if you could pull off 42. Well, that's really kind of irrelevant. I don't know if you could pull this off. Maybe you can. Maybe it's possible. But, okay, so he's got lots of battles in tier 10. But why would you play 506 battles in tier 9 or even in tier 7 in a regular tank? Why didn't he just upgrade it to the next tier? There's got to be a reason why. You would think that that's what he wanted to do. In fact, that T49, I'm pretty sure, used to be a tier 8 tank. This is not one of the really strange accounts. It's actually one of the more normal ones. I'm sorry, I forgot what his win rate was. So we're going to check this guy, and we're going to check this guy, and we're going to check this guy. Okay, this is since 2016. He's got a lot of battles, but look at his win rate is more moderate. And look, it kind of looks like, you know, if he's just playing Russian tanks, but look at that. You really think that he went through tier 7 with only 39? And I understand he has the right to skip tiers if he wants to. Everybody has that right. But why would he choose not to play that tier? Why would somebody say, hey, I just don't want to play that tier? I mean, come on. Most people are going to play through the tier. You can see that most of, look at this, tier 6, 2,200 battles. This is probably from doing the skirmishes and things like that. Tier 6 is popular for that type of gameplay. Lots of tier 10 battles. But you know what? At least this guy is playing tier 10, which is the most difficult tier. However, you do have an advantage at tier 10 where you're always top tier. But again, his victory rate is more normal. It's not a crazy win rate like 70%. I've seen 80%. This guy has a high win rate. This isn't a normal number of battles. Again, look at that. There's no way he did this. What he did was he bought some premium tanks, played lots of games, paid hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars. There's no way he could have done all of this. He had to pay a lot of cash to get up here. He could have paid thousands of dollars to get up there. I think in order to get a tier 9 to tier 10, you got to pay like $100 per tank. Just as an example. I know because I've done it. This guy has another unusually high victory rate. Been playing this long, half the battles that I do, been playing a lot longer than me. And look at that. He skipped all sorts of tiers. So what pattern are we noticing? People who have high victory rates are skipping large number of tiers because they're buying premium tanks or they already have them. They're racking up lots of EXP, paying hundreds if not thousands of dollars to skip through all of this in order to get up to here. That's what people are doing to have these high win rates. I'm going to show you this one, this one, this one, and this one. These are all players with 72% win rates. Okay, I guess in this case 67 because this is random battles. This guy's had a lot of battles. But you'll notice between 4 and 5, it really jumps up a lot. From here to here, it jumps up a lot, which of course is because of premium tanks. Why is this person playing so many 5 and 6 tier 5 games? You know, I play lots of low tier games, but it really doesn't. This one's not really that weird of an account. Look at this one. Come on. This guy's got 71% victory rate, and he skipped all of these. This guy's got 66%. You know what? This is weird. Why is this guy playing 482 in tier 4, 5,400 in tier 5? I don't know if you can go through up all of these. There's 7. There's even more. I mean, he had to go through all of these in this number of battles. I don't know if it's possible. And you know what? Certainly that 25, you can't do it. Let's check this guy. This guy has 13,000 battles since 2013. He started around the same time that I did. And I have 38,000. He has a lot fewer. And again, you get the same thing where for some reason he really loves tier 5 and really loves tier 6, but not so much over here. Why doesn't he have a graph where he's going through in a progression, playing a lot of tanks that are more his skill? When you're playing, let's see if we can figure out what this tank is over here. This is a tier 5, 744 battles in this tank. When you're doing that, there's guys seal clumping is what he's doing. I don't have 744. I probably have 50. That's what these people are doing. Let's check this guy out. He's probably going to have the same thing. Large numbers of games in lower tiers. So you can see here, this is this a random? It's random battles. He's going in with the Hellcat 844 games. Large numbers of games in lower tiers. Here's another example, 497 in tier 5. There's no reason for somebody to play this. Why didn't he move up to tier 6? You know, I don't remember which way I was going. Let's look at this guy. Here's another one, 349 with tier 5. Some tanks you do have to play a lot more in order to level through because they split into multiple ways. This guy's account doesn't seem as suspicious in that respect. His graphing is a lot more normal and a lot more of what it should be for a typical player. I have like over 100 for tier 1, for example. But he's got a high victory rate. But you know what? There's other ways you find out. When you look at a player, you've got achievements. And the achievements tell a lot of the story. If you look through, you're going to find that there's achievements that have to do with platooning. And a lot of people who have high win rates have a lot of platoon-related medals, which indicates that they do a lot of platooning. And there's other medals for things like blocked by armor, receiving hits, which indicates that you're spotted in the game and you're easy to shoot at. And then there's other things like about hitting your allies I don't hit my allies, and the reason why is because my allies are always behind me. So I actually have great numbers for that award. Like this guy has 73, I've got 400. Why, if he's such a great player, why is he hitting his allies? I'm going to tell you why he's hitting his allies. It's because his allies are in front of him. He doesn't play he's one of the best players in the game, one of the top ranked. He by EXP he's number 17. No, by win rate he's number 17 in the game. North America. Why is he hitting his allies? Why are his allies in front of him if he's the great player? Why isn't he leading his team? There's also different awards for firing and hitting the enemy, and people that are far away are going to miss more often. And if you, I don't remember which one it is, but if you look through them all, you're going to find it. There's an award that has, maybe this is it. Okay, so here's highest damage from 300 meters or more. You're going to find that there are different medals that show that the person must have been playing far away because he's got a high number of medals that you can only get from being far away, or he misses frequently because he's far away. If you're up close, you're going to hit more often. And I've got the medals that indicate that I play close because I hit the enemy from close range. I don't have the distance medals. I don't hit my allies. That you can learn a lot from looking at medals about spotting. If they don't spot a lot, then their allies are spotting for them, which means they require a teammate. I spot a lot. My spotting numbers are really good. If you compare, let's do a comparison. We're just going to randomly compare this guy. Let's see if I can figure out how to do it. You know, I wonder why. Oh, okay, I got to log in, I guess. Man, this is going to be a pain. Probably going to show my password. Oh, now you got my email address. You're not going to be able to hack it, trust me. Look at why. Look at that password. Let's see you guess that. Yeah, that's like a 16-letter password. And no, I don't have it memorized. Okay, so we're going to compare this guy to me, and we're going to look through, and you're going to see that. Oh, come on. How do I do this? We're going to see some things that you're going to say, well, if he's this great of a player, he's literally one of the top players in the game, why is it that some of my stats are better than his? And I haven't done this yet, so I have no idea. This guy fights prostate cancer right here. This guy actually recognized his name for some reason. Okay, so we're going to compare, and you can see that he has played more battles, more victories. He's going to have more EXP. He probably plays higher tiers than I do. But look at spotted vehicles. I spot almost double. It's obviously not exactly double, but it's up there. I spot substantially more vehicles. The reason why is because I play close to the enemy. That's the reason why. And the reason why I do that is because I like the challenge. I don't want to play with other people in front of me. I want a challenging game. Okay, so we're going to look at something else here. Let's look at some vehicle crap. During the medals, we might find something interesting. I'm sorry that it's so slow. Okay, so obviously you can see in tier 1, I kick his butt. Is there anything interesting here? I'm very hungry right now. Oh, come on. So it's slow. I have to wait for it. I'm going to see if, oh, it's locked up. It's going to come. It just takes time. So we'll closely examine what we already have here. Okay, maybe it pulled something in. I guess we have approximately played the same number of tanks. He hasn't played that one. He doesn't have a T92. It's a good tank. But you can see, like with the T100 LT, he beat me. He's got a 33% win rate, and I've only got a 28% win rate. Okay, so looking to see if there's anything interesting in here. I do own more of the premium tanks, apparently. Okay, so here we've got something. He's got a lot of tier 10 tanks. I just don't have them. This is a tank that I believe you have to get by platooning with a friend, and your friend has to make it to tier 10, and then you win this tank. This is some sort of a reward tank. This is a clan reward tank. Okay, I don't think we're going to see anything interesting in here because it's just win rates, and win rates are kind of misleading because it doesn't show the quantity of the games, etc. And then for many other reasons. Let's look at awards, see if there's anything interesting in here. Okay, so you can see Steel Wall, he does double than I do. This sort of indicates to me that he's probably playing tanks that are more heavily armored. I like to play fast tanks with light armor. Top Gun, he kills more than I do. I This is my weakness, is number of kills. Absolutely. If I had more kills, all of my stats would be good and my win rate would probably be amazing. All of my other stats are really good except for actual kills. So Invader, he's double than me. But look at Scout. I do a lot more scouting than he does, which means I'm the one that's out in the front lines by myself, don't have any support. The enemy spots me first. They fire at me first. I'm the only one spotted at the game. If there's 3 SPGs, they're all going to fire at me. This indicates that he has his allies in front of him spotting for him. So we've got the highest damage. This is something that you get. Okay, I guess you could do that in any tier, but it's just I choose the high pen gun. All you got to do is choose the high damage gun, the derp gun, and it makes a difference. You can see patrol duty. I do a lot better than he does with patrol duty. This is also spotting. This is because I go out on my own searching for the enemy. With fire for effect, we're about equal. That's very interesting. Obviously, another spotter. I am doing better. What is this? God, that's weird. I don't understand. Oh, okay. A duelist. Now, this is another one where I beat everybody. A large number of people, all the Unicum players, I beat duelist. This means that you kill the enemy at the same time he kills you. The reason why this is happening, the reason why somebody gets less is because the enemy and he are not aimed at each other. They're not aware of each other. With me, it's a lot different. I do have to do a lot of dueling as a light tank player. I have to defend myself. I'm not going to die because somebody is sniping me from behind or from a distance. That's what he's doing. Sharpshooter, hit enemy vehicles with 10 or more consecutive shots. This indicates you have to be relatively close or have a very accurate gun like an Udis or an STRV. Okay, so here's another one. Look at Battle Buddy. I've got 407. He's got 73. That means that he's hitting his allies. Why is it that I don't hit my allies, but he does? The reason why is because my allies are not in front of me. They're behind me because I want to play a leadership position. I don't like being behind my allies. If I wanted to, I could be behind my allies, use them as meat shields, and get tons of damage and take advantage of that, get high win rates. I could easily do that if I wanted to, but that to me is a boring game. I want to play the more challenging game because you sit there and nobody's doing anything, and I'm the leader who says, you know what, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do anything, and that means you got to put yourself in harm's way while everyone else is camping somewhere. I'm the one who stands up. If you watch my videos, you know that that's what I do. This is ramming it. We're about equal. Let's check out this lion shell. Let's see what this is. IS. Destroy 100 tanks. Okay, I don't know why. Master Gunner. Score at least 5 armor penetrating hits in a row. This can be done using APCR rounds. Someone who uses APCR rounds or who always has high pen guns is going to have lots of these. I wouldn't say that he's doing that, but because I do play a lot of stock guns, but if you see like a guy with 1,000, assume that the guy is firing premium rounds, Mousetrap. Okay, that's something different. Destroy 3 in a row. That's fighter, 4 or 5 vehicles in one. Now this is interesting because when you look at Top Gun, he way outperforms me, like, I don't know, 10 to 1. Let's look at the Top Gun. Look at that. It's at least 10 to 1. This is to kill 6 tanks. But when you get to this other one, which is here, it's only 2 to 1. And this is killing 4 or 5. So when we get to 4 or 5, I'm not that far behind him. But when we get to 6, all of a sudden he jumps way past me. So that's one of the things, it's just weird. Total block by armor. Don't you think that it's odd? I'm not a good player. Why am I blocking more damage than he is? I'm going to tell you why. It's because more people are shooting at me. I do not play heavily armored tanks. Obviously, I've been doing so in the month of June, which is this month. I played like 20 games with doing damage blocked by armor mission, but that is not what this is from. This is over the course of many years of playing. The reason why is because I play close to the enemy and they're constantly shooting at me. That's the reason why this is happening. Okay, so let's see what this is. Things that are related to kills and damage, I don't do so well in, but something like destroy 2 enemy SPGs, I usually am going to do better in this because I actively try to go out and kill SPGs. But I do it at the beginning of the game. I don't wait till the end. There's people that have high numbers of this because they get to do it at the end of the game because the enemy is vulnerable. Okay, that's some crazy thing. Destroy 3 enemy SPGs in one battle. This is get 8 or 9 kills. I guess I've done it 5 times. Brothers in Arms, what does this tell you? The guy is platooning. Look at how many platoons he's done. That's a crazy number of platoons. When I have 3 kills and I see another player who has 3 kills, I offer Brothers in Arms. And remember, if your platoon mate dies, all of you have to survive. This guy is getting crazy numbers of Brothers in Arms, far more than I am. This indicates platooning behavior. That doesn't mean that he's platooning at the start of the game. I really don't know. But this guy is absolutely platooning in his games. And platoonings are known to give you high win rates because you're working together with a team of other crazy good players. Now here's another one that's platoon related. He's got crazy number of these. Eye for an eye. Do we talk about this? Why is this here? This was under duelist and eye for eye. Why am I getting more? It's because I'm shooting at the enemy's shooting back at me. Now you've got this this having a high number here, which I do, is because a lot of enemy tanks shoot at me because I want to play a risky, challenging game. It's not because I'm an idiot and I YOLO scout. It's because if you told me, hey, go with the heavy tanks and line up with them, stay together for protection, blah, 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 I would say that's boring. I don't want to play this game. And I would go play something else like SimCity, and that would be it. Arsonists were about equal, setting tanks on fire. Bruiser, which is doing modules. You need higher penetration to damage modules. Let's see, Spartan. We're not that far off. Surviving ricochet hits. You need strong armor, and obviously the enemy has to be shooting at you. Lucky is, again, being close to the enemy. And you have to be close to the enemy in order to get lucky within 10 meters. I get more of these than many people because I'm always close to the enemy. I like action. Cool-headed, survive 10 ricochet hits. I get this because a lot of people are shooting at me. He's not getting it because he is probably evading enemy fire. I do not. I have no problem getting in there and going up against enemy tanks and taking a hit here and there if it allows me to get somewhere. Demolition expert, setting ammo racks on fire. Okay, so you can see that he's doing better than me with this heavy tank thing. I'm really not sure what this is or if it can be improved. Oh, you know what? These are the campaign missions. I think that these are all things that I'm working on. What's this? Number of enemy vehicles by combat reserves. Look at that sniper. Achieve 85% hits out of a minimum of 10 shots with a potential damage of 1,000 hit points or more. Now, this is before the release of 0.8.11. I only played a few games in 0.8.11. That was around the time that I started playing World of Tanks. That means if he could only have gotten it around before I started playing, he played a lot of games before I ever started playing the game. And number two, being the fact that the shots have potential damage of 1,000 or more means he's firing guns with potential damage of 1,000 hit points or more. You need higher tiers to do that. Was nowhere near doing that at 0.8.11. I was a tier 5 player at the time. So you can see that you can learn a lot about people from looking at these things. This is, again, awarded before version 0.8. He got these awards before I ever played. He's been around for a long time. Okay, so this shows that he plays Stronghold. Playing Stronghold means he's playing on some sort of a team. Okay, so that's this guy says. I just wanted to show you how, obviously, like certain statistics like spotting. Where's the spotting one? You saw it. It was like my spotting is crazy high. It's like 79,000. Nobody competes with me for spotting. And you know what? I don't even play that many light tanks. If you look at my light tank gameplay, let's see if we can get back to me. I'm going to show you my light tank gameplay. So you saw those crazy numbers, 79,000. Let's see where. Oh, come on. Where do you find this stuff? I think I got to put this in here and then it will show me, but I'm really not sure. Cross your fingers. Cross your fingers. No, that's not it. It is. Okay, but if you look, my light tank gameplay is about oh, maybe it'll be over here. It's about a fifth of my games. Yet I destroy everybody in spotting. And it's not from light tanks and medium tanks. I also do it with heavy tanks and with other tanks, and the list goes on. Okay, so that's enough.